In this video, we're going to see how to create an email sendout. So once we're on Sphinx Online, I go into this survey, for instance, then go to Distribution and Collection. This is the URL for the questionnaire. So I click on Emailing, and this is split into three sections: the message itself, recipients, where I can upload my database, plus sending and monitoring. So I've designed this survey on IQ3 with a few questions, like this one about age, the answer to which I can preload with my database if I know the recipient's ages. Then these two questions are conditioned. So segment A sees this question and segment B sees this one. To do this, I double click, go to Controls, Display, and Show Only If Segment A, and then click on OK. This yellow triangle on the first question means it's hidden, not visible on this form. However, I have that information in my database anyway. So I have this spreadsheet with that variable, which is assigned to each person in the email broadcast, and the next column is age, which, unlike segment, I do want respondents to be able to see this so that they can correct their age if it's stated incorrectly. And then gender, first name and last name, I also want to upload, and the email column is really important too, obviously, and the name for this column must be email, not email address or anything else. It has to be email, otherwise it won't work. Now I'm going to return to the survey, click on Distribution, and then publish it. That will take me to Sphinx Online, where I go to Emailing. So firstly, I can erase this message and type one up myself. I can insert square brackets, or I include the name of the column. Please complete the following survey by clicking on, and here you mustn't copy and paste the URL. Instead, click on Insert in Message, link to the questionnaire. Here you might find several links, which would be the case if you have a different one for each language or want to preload some fields. So I'm going to change this text. So when distributing the email, we can include the sender's name and must select the sender's email address, which by default is the address of this account. To change this, you'd have to contact technical support to ask for permission to use a different one, like your own domain. But once they've been approved, they're added to this drop-down. This is where you type the subject, and if I'd like to personalize the subject, I can also do that to say Product A Survey or Product B Survey. Or include the recipient's name by using square brackets. Then I save the message, and I can include more links or images as well, or enter an HTML code here. This link on the first line is to view the message on a browser, and this one at the end is to unsubscribe. So all of this is the invitation message, which I can save as a template. And after saving it, I should definitely test it by sending it to someone's email address, or by default, it sends the message to the account of the person creating this in order to verify it. Then the next tab is for a reminder message, which I might want to build in advance. So I could change the subject. This way I can program different messages and schedule the reminder for 2 days after the initial message, or however many days. And I can even create additional messages, which could be useful for people who've started the questionnaire but have left it incomplete. But now let's focus on the invitation message. Click on Recipients to load my database. Click on Add. Now I have several methods to import a file. So I'm going to select mine. Click on Next. So I get this preview, and then click on Finish. So now all the columns I had on my spreadsheet have transferred over to this list, and there's this column for status to see available, unfinished, completed, blacklists. Now this tells me which variables aren't part of the questionnaire, which means they're not on this list of variables on IQ3. So by default it won't merge fields, but it does allow me to. And if I click here, it generates those additional columns. By the way, this is for advanced emailing. If you want to broadcast a simple non-personalized email with the same questionnaire link for everyone, without conditional text, without preloading fields, all you'd have to do is import the list of recipients' emails. No need for first name, last name, age, gender, segment, or any of those variables I've mentioned. Their email address is all you need to import if you want to send an identical email to everyone. And each respondent that completes the survey, I'll know their email address, first name, last name, and gender. Moving on to sending and monitoring, I have some interesting settings here. So one of them is that each link is individual for each recipient, which allows for tracking to know who has responded, finished the survey, or left it incomplete. So I can set this to single, multiple, or unique and modifiable response, the most common one, which means if I click on the link, start the questionnaire, close the survey, and reopen it, all my progress will still be there, and I can even go back or change my answers. If this is unticked, it would allow respondents to change their answer whenever they want, as long as the survey is still available. If I enable this, once I've clicked on Finish at the last question, a message will come up with something like "Thank you for completing the survey," and you won't be able to go back into the questionnaire. Now, to send or schedule the invitation, I can select Now, Schedule for Later, or Automate, and this is where I choose the recipients, and by filtering selection I can send it to just those who are in segment A, or just men, or just women, and select the message, invitation message, then click on send, and I can refresh monitoring data, see how many people have received the email, how many have started the questionnaire, schedule a reminder for 2 days later, who haven't responded.
Having checked my inbox, I have received the message, so I click on the link to the questionnaire and it's preloaded my answer for age, which in this case is incorrect, so I can change that. And then I answer question A because I'm part of segment A, and save. And in the email I received, as you can see, it personalized the message, including my name and my segment in the subject. Now if I refresh, you can see I've responded, and over here we can find the data, see at what time respondents began the survey and saved it, time spent as well, and origin. So for me it was the email broadcast, and we can also find device and language and so on.